Hollywood superstar Matt Damon is switching his kids from public to private because the public schools in LA were not progressive enough. Normally, this wouldn't be a big deal, but Damon has long been a champion of public schooling. In fact, just a couple of years ago, he was praising public schools and teachers at the big Save Our Schools rally in D.C. Let's take a look.
The time I was in kindergarten, as she said, all the way through my high school graduation, I attended public schools. And I would not trade that education and that experience for anything. This has been a horrible decade for teachers. And I can't imagine how demoralized you guys must feel. Please know that there are millions of us behind you. You have an army of regular people standing right behind you, and our appreciation for what you do is so deeply felt. We love you, we thank you, and we will always have your back.
So is Mr. Anti-Fracking, I had to throw that in, Matt Damon, a hypocrite or just being a good dad? How about being a liberal hypocrite? Because how many send their kids off to schools, private schools? And look, I'm all for it. If you can afford to send your kids, Andrea, to a private school, go right ahead. Because I believe in school choice, I believe in magnet schools, I believe in giving every kid an opportunity. But Matt Damon and his mother, who was a big school advocate for public schools, they didn't do anything about Detroit. Look at that 47% literacy rate. They didn't do anything about Camden, New Jersey. South Central, you know, Matt, send your kids to South Central, and maybe they can live in the hippie commune that is the drug culture in some of these schools. But hang on, here's where I want him to go. How about reality? He finally figured out, I've got money, I can send my kids somewhere safe where they can grow up, but he's not going to advocate for other kids getting a shot at the same thing.
See, that's the problem. I'm all for choice. Yeah, let him.
He's not going to agitate.
Agitate for change, whatever the heck that means. He does agitate me, so it's working.
That's what a washing machine does.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so he can send his kid wherever he wants, but why can't all parents have that option? Parents who don't make the money that he makes on movies. And he goes out, he gives speeches for teachers. Yes, it's hypocritical, but what's even worse is he supports leaders and politicians who also do not empower choice for parents to pick schools. This is a great opportunity for President Obama, charter schools, to reach out on education, and he hasn't done it. It's another missed opportunity. So yeah, send your kids to private school. Just let other parents be able to do the same.
But Greg, President Obama did reach out to charter schools. First thing he did was he pulled the plug on 1,500 students in Washington, D.C., and Matt Damon supports him.
It's an interesting, parenting affords no left-wing folly, unless you are rich and famous and can live beyond your own principles. It's nice for him that, you know, private schools for Damon is a moral dilemma. If only everyone else could afford sitting around a table in a 25,000 square foot house and ponder moral dilemmas. They don't have that luxury. And going back to the word agitate, that is a dead giveaway of a campus skell. It's the product of the teacher's lounge to use agitate as a positive verb. Thanks, Bob, for letting me finish.
I'm sorry. I apologize. Just listen, I am somebody who sent my kids to private schools because the schools in our neighborhood were rife with drug problems. Now, do I support the public school system? I think most teachers are excellent. Most schools are very good in this country. We always go to the inner city and say, look at the failure of the American education system, when around the country there are a lot of very good schools and very good teachers. It just so happened in my neighborhood we didn't have them. We had very good crack dealers.
Well,
we have to tease, so I'm just going to make one quick point. He says he wants to send his kids to a different school because the public schools were not progressive enough. There's what I think. At school, you're supposed to learn the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. You get your values at home. So why don't you stay home a little bit more often, then you can teach your children whatever you want.
Good point.
Little homeschooling for Matt Damon. Maybe you'll learn about fracking while he's at it. Coming up, these past few months have seen their fair share of bad apples, from suspended cheater Alex Rodriguez and, sadly, the overexposed Anthony Weiner to adulterous Simon Cowell. Up next, we've got our picks for this summer's Biggest Loser. Stay with us. Here's my hint. It's you, America. You lose sometimes, anyway.